Okay, that's the sprocket down on the shaft on the platform. And we noted in the earlier part of this repair that things didn't line up right. So I came back and checked my manual here. See, manual. And it says loosen nut A and position sprocket assembly so that a 5 5/8 inch dimension exists between the side of the feeder house and the inside edge of the 38 tooth sprocket. That'd be sprocket B. And if you look over there, 38 tooth sprocket and pointing at the big sprocket, it actually shows you where to measure the 5 5/8. Well, guess what? It was set that way. So I didn't move it. But it's all back together now. We'll go out there and take a look at it. Well, it's about 9:30 Thursday night, and I got it back on there. And I'm happy with it. I think it's a good solid repair. Got things lined up a whole lot better down here. Found out something interesting about this. I just made a little clip looking in the service manual about it, and it's lined up the way John Deere tells you to line it up. So I went ahead and put a couple of washers behind that tensioning sprocket to get it more in line with the way the chain comes up through there. And learned something about these eccentric locking collars. That one back there was a booger bear to get in place. Real tight working space back in there. I kept having to find the lock point on it and then adjust for it and then readjust for it because I wanted to leave the Allen screw where I could get to it. Even though the Allen screw is not what really holds it in place, it's the proper locking of that collar. And what I learned about it, you take your fingers like this and you turn that collar until you meet resistance against the bearing. And you cannot put a pair of channel locks on it and turn it and think you're going to lock it and get it tight. The bearing it'll go to a certain point, and then the bearing itself will start turning on the shaft. So what you have to do, and that's why they have that little indentation in there, you have to put a punch in that little hole and you have to strike it really hard to get that collar to set against that bearing. And once you actually get it to set, you can lock it. And when you want to test it to make sure you've actually locked it, then put a pair of channel locks on here and try to turn it in the same direction that you were locking it. And if you cannot turn it, you've actually locked it. Those things are a booger bear. They're aggravating. But it's on there, it's locked, it's tight, it's right. I'm happy. Don't know when I'm going to be able to get back in the field. It's wet here, real wet. But at least I'm ready. And so that was the end of this repair ordeal. Everybody, thanks a bunch for watching my channel. Thanks for subscribing. Soybean Farmer. Good night, everybody. God bless each and every one of you.